All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's the time for the finals of this Meta Plays Pro League tournament. We are on Road to Tuna, is one of the players' favorite maps, how it looks like it. We have the man, the juggernaut, the unbeatable Ray as the Wehrmacht. On the other side, we have Mr. Reakly, who just put up an amazing fight against Tony. Is he able to repeat it against Ray, or will he perish? Reakly as the Brits, what are we seeing? What are we expecting, my dear friend? Stormless.
Well, no immediate early game surprises, but one thing I would say is that coming into casting with you today, the 4 players that we had in the semi-finals had not lost a single game until the point where they got to the semi-finals, and both of these players have lost a game or two across their series. We did see an ace game in the last one between Reakly and Tony Montana, so again, these players do know that they are not superhuman. They are capable of losing, but we do have 2 absolute heavyweights, just as you said, and it's going to be really, really fascinating to see how they treat each other in the tournament.
And we have super aggressive Ray with... Oh, he snipes the model right away from the building, Royal Engineer. That's unfortunate. And Reakly focused all his infantry sections on the other side, which means Ray will have double fuel.
Grenadiers,
yeah, it's unfortunate. You never want to be caught building that sandbag right at the start. And he's going to find it a struggle now, I think, to actually capture the munitions point as well. Ray's actually content to leave that fuel and just deny him the munitions that he would be getting from the +10.
Oh, that was a really good opener from Ray. Super aggressive, something we don't see that often, but damn was it good. Ray's such an aggressive player, and I love to see that, watch that.
It'd be interesting to see the 2 styles come together, because Reakly in some of the games in the previous series was a bit defensive in his play, but Ray has absolutely shown in every single one of the games his relentless attack. So it'd be interesting to see what works the best.
Reakly not having a good start already. Have 1 infantry section forced off, lost 2 models. Ray basically lost not even HP. And another infantry section will be isolated and will be forced off by superior numbers. Here we go. Reakly is retreating. Not losing a model this time, but still.
Not 100% that this engineer with the flamethrower in the south is going to be able to win this engagement. Ray's capped the fuel point even though it's not connected, just to waste time to make sure that that fuel takes ages to go back into the hands of Reakly. It's a really great start for Ray.
And Ray sending immediately some reinforcement. He has a Grenadier now behind the truck in cover, and Reakly decides to cap the VP, and he will lose a lot of models there. I'm not sure if that's the right call. Second infantry section comes in, changes the equation, and Ray's soft retreating. Hard retreating.
Yeah, suddenly that did become favourable for Reakly. It's the right thing to do here. I think he's realised that his early game's a bit shaky by not diving onto that fuel point. Ray's handled that push for northern fuel by Reakly really, really well, by the way. And now we have the 4 Tommy squads. I think Reakly's just going to go for stability here, get the resources that he needs on his side of the map, and then start to push out from there. So aggressive. Look at Ray in the north. He's even going for the +10 fuel outside his base.
And thanks for the raid put. I hope you had amazing games. We're currently casting game number 1 of the finals of the Meta Plays Pro League.
Ray just missed the cap on the central VP. I don't know if that was intentional or not. It literally almost looked like it was fully capped. Reakly, by the way, really, really good ideas. You can already see this as a top-level game, right? Because whilst all this is going on, Reakly's going to go for the cap that denies the entire map that Ray's been focused on. And Ray has nothing to deal with that right now. So there's just real resource denial going on everywhere.
However, Ray has the 2-1 already on the queue, and Reakly's only now getting tier 2.
We have territory cut off from supply.
Yeah, but the loss of the cutoff will be annoying. 2-1 will be hard to deal with.
It's hard. The 2-1 can't cap, so yes, you're going to be able to push the squads off that, but again, it's still going to be time before those resources start coming back in. It's really hard to tell who's actually at an advantage at this point, with the exception of the tech that's going on.
And Reakly's even trying to decap the safe 10-pointer. He's also a really aggressive player. He tries to equalize the field disadvantage that he has. But no, with the 2-1 on the field, I don't think he will get the decap. He has to retreat.
He's gonna lose a Tommy squad as well. He's just upgraded it with the scopes.
No!
That is really.
He might lose another one in the middle. There's nothing to contest it. Reakly's going AT gun first, which is always a bad sign. But AT gun will take some time till it's on the field. Will Ray go for it? He is going for it.
Going in like this is a gamble.
It's
but
a
if
gamble.
It pays off. This
but
is so
Reakly
hard to
cancels
come back
the AT gun.
No AT grenades. Ray could stay there. Oh. That was unexpected.
Well,
Wow.
that was
Great early game.
unexpected.
That had
That was
all
well
the
played by
action.
Ray. Like, Reakly didn't play poorly. It's just that Ray just played incredibly well.
Yeah.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 2 between Ray and Reakly. Ray just put up an amazing display on how to play. Reakly was just caught off guard and could make a comeback, even closely to happen. So let's see what will happen in game number 2. We have Ray as the Brits this time, and on the other side we have Mr. Reakly as the Wehrmacht. What are we seeing? What are we expecting, my dear friend Stormless?
Well, still no early game picks for battle groups, which we did see a lot of in the first semi-final series, but hasn't been as much of a popular decision in these games. Funnily enough, Ray doing pretty similar to what Reakly did in the last game, diving on that +10 fuel, building the sandbags, but doing it straight away so that he does not risk of losing the squad to the early Grenadier push.
And we have an MG stuff from Ray. Really not tempo build, more like slow build up.
An infantry section is present and accompanied.
Yeah, it is interesting because Ray has been so aggressive. You wonder how he'd use that here. But actually, I think if we go back to some of the things we were saying about the Vickers on this map from the earlier series, is that if you do find that Grenadiers are sort of bunkering down on these green cover positions in the center, the Vickers can be quite good at doing health damage to those units in cover.
Yeah. Oh, I totally agree. What's up with sound? Sound is looking normal. Chat is trolling me. Oh, it's crackling from Stormless mic. Okay.
Is there really?
It's not on my end. Discord is fine.
We can test that a little bit.
Yeah.
To make any changes, let me know.
Man, technical difficulties.
We've got the point. Holding for no.
Okay, that's weird.
Infantry
All right.
sections
Do you want me to hop off a
trained and
moment?
ready.
Yeah, let's do that. Alright, we will be back in a sec. Alright.
Fingers crossed, that's a bit better.
It should be not. The play for the devil. Jesus Christ. Oh, hey, I have no fiber optics, so no de-sealing on the stream. Suddenly. At 9 PM or something like that. Better. Everyone says better. That's awesome. Alright, let's focus on the game. We have now third infantry section on the way from Ray. Really? I nearly said long tier 1, but that's not true. Four tier 1 units. It's kind of the standard currently.
Yeah, I don't think you can get away from the early game power of Tommy's in this. It's really, really useful, very, very mobile. You may even choose to see what we saw Reakly do with, you know, the upgrade to scope rifles. Really, really good against units in cover.
Oh, Ray, this position is MG though. Will get outflanked. He has to go home.
Yeah, not a lot there that he's going to be able to do against that. Do you see, by the way, Reakly is starting to put mines down, so there's a shoe mine on the fuel in the north, just preparing himself for when...
MG gets the crew. Oh, no suppression on the ground. He might be able to seal the MG. He's trying to. But he has to build a... Oh, that's gone.
Yeah, and he'll be able to pick it up if it gets to crude with the other Grenadier. Sometimes you're lucky with the MG pickups, you know, where like you crew it and it's already packed down. And then sometimes you have to go through the setup procedure. But even there, had to pack down and still got
We're
away.
losing a capture point.
Ray's
to
going to be
enemy
pretty
action.
gutted about that, I think.
Yeah, Ray is not happy with that. No, Cutoff is getting harassed, and Reakly suddenly in a really comfortable position. Has 4 grenadiers on the field. Soon officer quarters in.
We're losing ammunition. They've cut us off.
And
Territory is out of supply.
Ray is getting healed, so no tier 2, which means LV is quite some time away. No veterans C1, but we have 4 infantry sections plus a stolen G. That's a lot of infantry to reinforce. Reakly needs to be careful with his engagements.
Yeah, actually, probably fighting skirmishes like this is not going to be advantageous to him. He'd probably be better if he pulls units back a little bit and then,
Point is being
has a
overrun.
focused engagement with all of the units together, so he delivers the higher rate of damage.
Yeah, so no weapon upgrade yet from Ray except 1 flamer. Tier 2 now on the way for Ray. Ray was able to recapture Cutoff, but this game is kind of the opposite, or the same as in game number 1, but this time Reakly is dictating the speed.
Yeah, it just takes one mistake in the early game
We're losing a victory point.
to end up in a situation like this. It'll be interesting to see, though, if, unlike Reakly, Ray can actually recover from it. He's at risk of losing the engineer squad in the retreat there.
Ah, they are
Very, very little in terms of resources coming in for Ray right now.
Ray was able to regain the control over his viewpoint. He has the green cover advantage there. Reakly can't really take the engagement. I think he will keep the VP and will be fine and then soft retreat. Maybe start harassing the
Damn it!
Cutoff.
The enemy holds all victory
He has the
points.
MG there.
We're losing
He's not
a
getting tier
strategic
2.
point. It's just a scratch, alright?
It's interesting as well. So Reakly has gone for the terror battle group. He went straight for contempt for the weak, so he does get an increase, 33% capture increase when units retreat nearby. So he's been really punishing with map control here, trying to make the most and capitalize on this early game advantage he managed to get.
Damnation! The sector's an enemy hand.
He gets the cutoff, but not fully kept, but still gets the suppression there. And Ray has enough fuel for a Humber. Is it 30 or 35? It's 35. Oh, they changed the value. It is 35, it's not 30. Since forever, but new value and things.
We're losing a munitions point to enemy action.
See, this is why we're casting and not playing.
Exactly.
Orders complete.
I like that Ray knows this could go very badly if he loses a lot of VP control. So whilst all of this is going on, he's trying to just work it so that he can still get on top of the VPs, buy himself a little bit of time.
No camo MGs, he went for the
We're
3-1.
losing a victory point to enemy action.
I have no idea what. I never see it once. I know that you pay ammo and your LVs can suppress the MG on them,
Victory point
but I have no
lost.
idea how it's
The
called.
enemy has control.
Clear the door.
Maybe I can check. Heavy gunnery.
Fucking lies.
So infantry section in the meantime are sweeping mines.
Humber armored car ready for
Humber is on the field, so Ray has
The
a
scout
potential for a
car.
comeback.
Enemy forces hold all victory points.
Sorry, just saying if the scout core wasn't strong enough, I mean, this is a pretty oppressive platform to add to it.
It's 30 ammo though, and I'm not sure how good it is.
Enemy troopers.
But like I said, I never seen it, so I might be wrong. Maybe it's really good and we're all sleeping on
Ground
it.
engineers trained and ready to go.
It's not the first time we see something like that happen during a tournament game.
Missions on.
And Reakly is going for 2.5.
Sappers getting ripped up here.
Nope, Reakly lost game number 1, so it's 1 up for Mr. Ray.
Infantry taking losses here.
The Panzerbüchse 41 is on the Humber. Reakly is diving in for it. Actually, it's a pretty good line to take against the Humber there.
Can he commit? There are no snares.
What? What? What?
Humber got changed. 2-1 doesn't two-shot Humber anymore. No three-shot.
Why didn't he chase it?
I don't know. Reakly Green apparently is not a play when he's playing in finals.
There's a threatening of victory point.
Wow. I'm surprised, actually. That seemed like an easy win.
In my books as well, but... And usually Reakly would have gone for it, but he feels like, I need to be confident, I need to play safe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Down the enemy line!
A lot of the munitions here have gone into mines across the battlefield, so Reakly's trying to play defensive, stop Ray from getting any map control back, but you've got to wonder, like, could he have converted some of these Grens into something powerful, like the Jaeger infantry, put some upgraded rifles on them?
I would wait till Veterancy 2 and then start converting them off. So use...
Perhaps, yeah. I'm wondering if he's giving Ray a bit more time than Ray should have to get back into this.
Yeah, that's a
Are the
valid
mines
point.
going to be enough?
We have 300 points remaining.
So, Flare is now an option for Humber and is used right away. We have no infantry training from Ray, so Grenadiers are still performing decent against the
Commander,
infantry
Need to
sections.
spread out against the flames. What's happening?
requested.
Oh, so much damage that could have been easily been avoided. Reakly went for propaganda war. Oh, a wonderful weapon! It gets the Vickers. Reakly trying to destroy it, but I'm not sure if he will be able to pull it off. He gets it though.
Great play. Genuinely, like
That was
best
incredibly
move he could have
fast.
made in that, yeah, and
Like-
great reaction speed.
Reaction. That was amazing.
Recce package incoming. You remember.
Slowly, more and more e-packages are coming in.
Quiet down. Listen up.
It's just gone past the 11-minute mark, and the VPs are halved for Ray. And most players you play against, you'd be feeling like this is an incredible position to be in, just about to pop out a whirlwind, but you gotta be really careful against Ray. Ray knows how to come back from these moments.
Ziggy's out.
And Reakly's got to keep just a high level of pressure on the VPs right now.
He has the Verbal now on the field. Will he get the snare on the Humber? Yes, Humber will be dead. Bye-bye, Humber.
Blast! Our Humber armored car is gone.
Snare will go off, but not a big deal. Second infantry section can't chase due to the Verbal. And Reakly knows there are snares.
Quite important for Reakly at the moment to get some infantry units up so that he
Oh,
can
he's
spot
chasing, he
any
needs to
AT guns.
back up.
Orders complete.
Oh,
What is he
man.
doing?
I think he had a pathing issue there and he decided to go forward, but this is not good. Rear armor hit potentially. He still hasn't moved out the range.
But the T1 is blocking. He's so lucky.
We have territories exposed out there.
Whew.
Lines been cut.
That was lucky. Do you need 4 shots or 3 shots for a Verbal? 4 shots, right? Yeah, it's 600
In a
HP.
way,
Yeah.
hit.
So he would have been fine either way, but still.
Lost a sector.
I'll just say though, because it was rear armor facing when
Unless for re-armor. The good thing is Muir's in chat, so someone who actually knows stuff about the game can correct us when we start talking nonsense.
come on backseat gamers, we know you're out there.
Oh, retreat nade! Will help with the wipe? Nope.
Wow, you really feel like Reakly's been lucky a few times here.
Queensbury, right?
Well, there's a reason why we call it Reakly luck, right?
I guess, yeah.
The enemy is pushing
Second Wibble's on the way, Reakly's really going for it. He has the propaganda leaflets, so he can force off the AT gun. If you ever want to see an AT gun retreating, I highly recommend propaganda leaflets. I think it works against AT guns, at least propaganda war from the
Light infantry. Available.
Kanuna
Ray
does
has
better
just
group work.
picked Seduction, by the way. He's gone for Australian. This is really interesting. Reakly going for 2 verbal wins. If we see, so we've already got 1 6-pounder in the field plus the 2-pounder. I think they'll struggle.
2-pounder is such an interesting choice. Is it to preserve manpower? Or is
I
it
think it's
just...
to secure his place on the map. Like, the range is so big. I think you can pretty much with an AT gun and a 2-pounder, sorry, 6-pounder and a 2-pounder, you can lock down 2 VPs. He's got a lot of his infantry upgraded now. He's got minesweepers.
Royal Engineers forced off. He's not able to sweep the mine, and Reakly is now pushing towards the bottom side with the Wibble.
The beggars are threatening a
I would love that Reakly parks 1 Wibble on the top side, 1 on the bottom side, and forces Ray to decide where his AT guns are moving. And then
victory point is in
he's always able to control one side of the map and make Ray a really uncomfortable.
infantry.
What is going on? Aussies are being called in. This feels like an AI army, what Ray is doing.
Oh man, this Verbal pathing again, spinning on the spot. Just get away in time. The other Verbal Wind is trying to probe, but that rotation on that 2-pounder is immense.
Yeah, Reakly a little bit struggling there on the micro side, and slowly his grenadiers are getting outclassed by the infantry sections with high veterancy, so Reakly needs to start transferring them off or get something on the field that helps. Snare on the Wibble.
I think he's going to regret the second Verbal Wind. He
Yeah.
actually had a really good opportunity to go tier 4, get something highly armored like a Brumba, which could maybe withstand these sort of counters, but
Over
game
repair doctrine.
could start to
2-pounder anti-tank
get back in
guns
favor
available.
for Ray, simply just due to attacking error.
Do you think Ray's going no for archers?
Australian infantry. are
You
in
don't have to
reserve.
tech for an archer, and it's still not... It's not affected by the cost increase if you don't have tier 4.
It's totally possible.
Like,
Yeah, that he does that.
so, Reakly not getting med bunker.
And again, showing rear armor. Flares have gone up.
He will get away though.
It's just so frustrating. Oh,
Pioneer!
picked off repairing.
And hero's
Again,
death.
when you see those flares go up, oh my god, you've got to be so careful.
And Ray has stabilized nicely. He's still behind, don't get me wrong. But he has a triple cap against Reakly.
I think he's going to be fine, and actually reducing the power of the Austrians to come in. He might even pop a CMP truck, you know, to pick up extra fuel if he wants to. Just try and get himself back on an even resource field. But Ray's actually looking, I don't want to say dominant, but he's definitely back in the
Victory
game.
point lost. The enemy
Yeah.
has control.
So, Reakly needs to get better infantry. His grenadiers are now past the expiration date.
Enemy right! Oh, the enemy right!
And I don't know what Reakly is planning. Maybe it feels like double Wirbelwind always feels like all-in strategy, right? You want to go double Wirbelwind, isolate the AT guns and go all in, and maybe throw an off-map into the mix.
Well, don't forget, he still has the propaganda leaflet drops, so if he can get vision on the AT guns, pop it, drive in with the 2 verbal vents, still opportunities to do some damage there, but I don't know if you you can sort of hear it, right? Ray is just picking off individual squads with a few squad wipes here and there, and it's just slowly whittling down this army that feels like Reakly is struggling to heal and repair, and yeah, it's like a war of attrition.
Oh, he's going all in now. What is he doing? That's a bad idea. Use the propaganda leaflets on the AT guns. Here we go.
Already in base!
They can't go back further. He has those. Where's the second Wirbel? I can still retreat from here. Here we go! Retreating AT gun! But the retreat buff is so short!
Run.
Well done. He retreated 5 meters.
Points available for you. The enemy has our victory points now.
Oh well, I mean, maybe it's the right thing to do to try and protect the verbal wind, but actually, it's such a short.
No!
Point under enemy control.
Well, we salute you, Wirbelwind.
This game handed you a free game against Ray.
Yeah,
200
Right?
points.
Like this was your game to
All
lose.
victory points.
and though he transferred off the first Gren. By the way, there's an AFK engineer on the top side of the map from Ray. He's enjoying the scenic view.
Just want to answer a question from Bearlos. The retreat on AT guns has existed since Company of Heroes 2. Use propaganda to retreat that way.
Yeah. Well,
The
indeed,
only way.
propaganda can force retreat AT guns, which is still hilarious.
A sector is in enemy control.
It's just so rare that you don't see it. That a lot of people don't know that it exists, which is understandable.
I gotta say, in terms of Ray's strategy here, like it is a smart thing to do if you can handle it to wait the game out a bit before making your battle group pick, because if you'd have dived in at the start of the game, you wouldn't have had access to this 2-pounder, which I think is really suppressing the effectiveness of the Ostwind double build at the moment. But Crusader's now out on the field, and I can't even believe I'm saying this, but we're looking at Reakly for what's the counter?
Yeah, man, Ricky has tier 2, right? He has no AT. He has the 2-1 with the Panzerbüchsen upgrade, but let's be honest, it won't counter a Crusader.
The beggars are threatening a munitions point.
It's going to be a bitter pill to swallow. Game 1,
Enemy has
6-minute
claimed the
game.
sector.
Ray really dominant, and unfortunate to lose a couple of squads in the game. Game 2, you almost have the exact game that Ray had, but you didn't capitalize on it. And I think that's going to make a game 3 really hard, you know, just from a mental perspective.
He has nothing to counter the Crusader. Wirbelwind
We are losing a
It's
victory
useless.
point to enemy action.
Don't the Panzerbüchse.
Panzerbüchse. At least it's not as bad as you guys calling the Puma.
Enemy.
Puma.
Oh, Jesus Christ. That was awful. GCS 201? I can't remember the Puma method. Which GCS it was. Anyway.
We can go over my pronunciation of German words later, old party.
I rarely get offended, but then... Nah, I'm just joking. I don't care. Alright, we have Stoßtruppen on the field. With their wood on the back. Because just carrying an MG42 is boring. You need some wood logs on the back. I know the Crusader train is coming. Second Crusader's out. I don't see Ricky coming back into this game. He's still at least a minute off from a P4. And until then, Ray might have out one more Crusader.
Yeah, it does feel like he's flailing a bit here with ideas on what to do. And it's sort of a shame. He went for Terror Doctrine as well. And yeah, the double verbal wind, I think sort of there's no hope of a King Tiger or anything like that.
Nah, King Tiger's not an option. Like, nope. Ray has unlocked the Archer, so even if miraculously wise get a KT on the field, the Archer will just hard counter the KT.
because Verblevin is absolutely doomed with these Crusaders hunted down.
Yeah, they're hungry.
Taking heavy enemy fire here!
Ray is so controlled in the way he plays. Like, he could dive that, but he's more careful than to throw away.
Careful.
He knows he can inflict even more damage, and in fact,
He knows the Verblevin is not a threat.
retreat back to base.
He knows that.
Maybe they'll give us a little tune-up first.
So Reakly could afford now. He unlocked. If he goes for KT, I don't know, man. KT is at least 5 more minutes. Maybe even 6.
He unlocked.
And no way he will make it that long.
You dreamer.
Yeah.
The hunt is on.
Teasing us there.
Oh, Reakly must be so mad. Yeah, I thought you had won the game. Like I said, early game was amazing. And then everything was falling apart.
It's a decision a lot of us would make, is like, look, we've got Ray in a tough spot, let's double down on the anti-infantry and build this, but yeah, really unfortunate timing. Well done to Ray, though.
Yeah, Ray played amazing. Like, being able to recover from such a spot is just insane. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for game number 3 in this finals. Is Reakly able to make a reverse sweep happen, or will Ray once again show his dominance and make it a 3-0? We are on Langres, one of the oldest co-maps in history. We have Ray as the Wehrmacht and Mr. Reakly as the British forces. What are we seeing? What are we expecting, my dear friend? Stormless.
I think what we're expecting to see is an amazing game from Reakly here. He has got so much ground to cover to win this series. He has to get 3 wins against Ray, which is not a small task to ask of him. But if anybody can, it is Reakly. He's showed us in the semi-finals that he's got great skills and is able to dominate. So let's see how he performs on one of the all-time greatest maps in Company of Heroes.
I'm so sad they didn't give it an Italian name in Co 3, like Langreskaya in Co 2. But not everything can be perfect. So nothing unusual is happening. Both players are starting pretty conventional: triple grenadier, or double grenadier, double pioneer, double infantry section. It's really standard. Like, I don't think there's anything worth discussing here with the bold order. Both players are capping their respective sides. Not much is going on, even though there was a small skirmish. Reakly tried to get into position. However, Ray got some nice shots off, and Reakly soft retreated.
Yeah, there's been very little love for the Kettenkrad for Wehrmacht in this tournament. It seems to have fallen out of favor in place of just having more infantry to provide that vision. But yeah, I think as we've seen in many of the games, 4 Tommy squads seems to be the go-to for Brits. But we are seeing an MG42 in the build from Ray. And I don't think that's a bad thing, because however you look at Langres, there's always been a need for an MG in that center area to protect a really, really vital cutoff.
The infamous Langres cutoff, right? If you are pushed off and lose this cutoff, it's not easy coming back onto the cutoff.
Yeah, very difficult. Do you remember a player called OMG Pop? In fact, the last tournament I think he played in may have been Operation Charlie Fox from Code.
I wasn't active. I was not playing. I was playing during Operation Charlie Fox, but I wasn't part of the community.
So that guy knew how critical a cutoff that was. He used to walk up, build an MG nest there as Wehrmacht, and just sit there for the entire game. Honestly, like right from the start. And it's so critical if you get that cutoff on this map. And like you said, it's so hard to defend against because there's just not a lot of green cover there for you to walk up to. So really important for an MG to dominate that position, to make sure that Reakly can't get on top of that in the early game.
So MG42 can get shots off, or not. Nope. But Reakly can't stay around there. Not sure if using... Oh, nice. Okay shit. But he's overstaying his welcome. What is he doing? He needs to retreat. He might lose the squad on retreat. MG42 might get a nice volley in.
think he could have stayed with that Grenadier squad, actually, to try and get the wipe there. He might have missed a trick, Ray, by retreating that squad early. You can see there's a nervousness here, I want to say, for Ray, because he's just sitting in the house, just trying to waste the time of this engineer for Reakly in the north, and that's going to allow him to just build up an army, make sure he's got something that actually works to progress through the map with. It's a lovely early defensive game from him. I don't think there's anything else you could do with Wehrmacht.
Yeah, 2-1 is already in the queue. Reakly has no tech, so 2-1 will have some 3 minutes before a counter will be on the field. Is this one of the cases where you would go with 4 infantry section, where you might get boys anti-tank rifles on your sections? Because AT is still far off, and 2-1 will block you due to its high damage output.
It's a difficult one. I don't know if it's better to go for the grenades because you get access to the rifle grenade and then you just snare it and retreat until you get the AT out. But let's just see what they do, I think. You can see their Rays moving on the retreat path of Reakly's infantry squads at the top, and the scout cars coming as well.
That will be a vibe.
This is gonna be. Oh, this is
nice nade. Oh, wonderful retreat nade. If it was a retreat nade, I'm not sure, but let's frame it as one. Reakly's getting into the same thing that happened in game number 1.
Oh no. It's so hard to come back from this mentally.
Territory sector lost.
Losing these squads in the early game is so key. And he's off to such a good start as well. That's the thing.
Oh,
Bunker will be a medical facility momentarily.
do you think Reakly will throw in the towel? Nah, it's game number 3, right? He will fight no matter what. At least I hope he has some fighting spirit left in him, because it must be so demoralizing to use two squads in the first 10 minutes again.
Yeah, there's no way he's not feeling the weight of the person that he's playing against right now.
We have finished
Ray
the
has
research.
been dominant in every game, with the exception of the start game too, but we've seen how he can recover even when things are not going well.
Oh, you might lose another one. Such a late retreat. Humber's on the field. Humber saves the day. Jaeger on the way. He might get the 2-1 retreat. That might be a big pickup. It would help. He gets it and gets immediately veterancy 1. So it's still a long way back into the game, but it was made a little bit easier. Ray now has to get either 20. Never mind, he gets the recoilless rifle. MG will get recruit as well. Nope. Oh, MG was recruit still. Oh, damn. That's good. Reakly rebuilding the Lost Royal Engineer. A lot of manpower is now lost for Ray, but I'm not sure if that's enough for Reakly to help him to stabilize. Nice move.
It's difficult. However you look at it, it doesn't have... Well, he's got access to the fuel on the right, actually, so it's not a bad position for him to be in, but he's fighting up against a significantly larger army, which is going to make it very, very difficult. He doesn't want to get caught out of position, a bit like the Tommies just have. Again, it might be pushing from open cover against squads that are in cover.
I think he's trying to get the cutoff, because usually it's a good idea, but he is now in no position to do that. He needs to fall back and try to get the safe resources on his side, or relatively safe resources.
The squad's on low health as well.
And there's a grid on retreat.
Our frontline pioneers are dead.
Oh,
Gonna come in. Oh man.
yeah, no, with the Humber loss, there's no chance he was
Our
stabilized.
heavy artillery has been overrun.
He tries to
that's-
steal the loses to World Engineer. Yeah.
Well,
Commandant, the date.
That was a quick finals. I'm a little bit disappointed.
no, don't be. Do you know what? I kid you not. Of all the casting I've done for Company of Heroes, the finals are usually the most disappointing game.
Yeah.
We want to thank our website patrons. This is by far the best way to support MetaPlays. Your contribution helps keep the project sustainable and allows us to produce more and better content. If you aren't yet a patron, check out our link in the description and get in touch to collect your perks. We will see you the next time.